Hi, welcome to Tie-Dye TDMI.
TDMI.
TMI. I'm Craig,
I'm Kylie.
and we're going to talk about our threesome experience.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump right into it. So, why a threesome?
It felt safer for us.
How so?
We wanted to be able to experience something together instead of what we have been doing is been doing stuff separate prior to this point. And so by doing this, it allows both of us to be able to communicate and say where we're comfortable and where we aren't, and have that direct communication, I guess.
Yeah, so let's go back in time a little bit. We need to talk a little bit of backstory about, we also haven't talked about kind of our sexual exploration as much.
No, there's a lot.
Can we get the 5-minute version and then we'll do a longer episode on that?
Okay, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, so
Take
the
it away.
5-minute version is, me and Kai started off pretty much polyamorous. Started off in the swinging, in the lifestyle community. In fact, that's how we met, was actually at a party that was definitely geared more towards that.
Yeah.
And we thought we were rock stars. We thought we were no problems whatsoever. We were the pushers in our individual relationships at the time. But we quickly found out, once we got into a relationship with each other, that we couldn't go as hardcore as we were before. How would you describe it?
Well, with our spouses, we didn't have any jealousy. None. And so that's just kind of what we expected for our relationship, because that's what we had experienced. Come to find out, that is not our experience together. We do not have compersion yet.
Yet. Well, I mean,
Yet.
a little bit.
I'm getting
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
But I wasn't there at all. And so it's something we're working towards. And I think the big underlying factor for that was we didn't really get to establish our relationship the way it needed to be established.
We lacked a foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what we're currently redoing, is rebuilding a foundation of trust.
Yeah, so we started at the finish line, and now I'm going back to the beginning to do the whole journey part that you should have done in the first place. And so a lot of that is going back and establishing this foundation of trust, and very much like entering water that's cold, we're just kind of inching our way back in. And so the concept of a threesome appealed to us because it's a way that we can both, Kylie being bi, I wish I was bi, unfortunately not, but it was a way that we both could go into an experience and not exclude anyone, but everyone can kind of be part of a sexual experience and hopefully come out positive. Did it turn out positive?
I would give ourselves
You
9
gonna
out of
rate
10.
us? 9 out of 10.
9
Okay.
out of 10.
Yeah, I'd be like 9.2. At least a 9.2. So we met. We should probably give her a fake name.
Oh, yeah.
Beatrice.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, or
Beatrice.
Soraya, or Emma. Emma.
Okay,
We're gonna call her Emma.
We're getting some ex-Mormonism.
Yeah. We'll have episodes on that. I'll talk about more. So Emma, we met Emma online on Tinder a few weeks ago.
Well, he did.
I did. And this is when we both came to Houston, and we wanted to be able to orchestrate this experience, and it was a lot harder than we thought it would
It's so goddamn hard
Holy
to
fuck.
get a threesome. Well, okay.
be. Yeah, why?
So,
Dive into this.
well, there's. How do I say this politely?
No, say it. But non-politely. This is TMI.
So, okay.
Yeah.
We wanted to be attracted to the woman. There's a lot of options
we have a scale.
out there. Yeah. And there's a lot of options out there. So,
Yeah.
we both got different accounts, multiple different accounts, like Bumble, Tinder, Feld, threefun, all sorts of different accounts, right? Because we're trying to see what's out there. And Houston sucks, by the way.
Houston's awesome. We love you. If you love Houston, I mean, it sucks a little bit, yeah.
It sucks a little bit. Except for Emma. Emma was awesome.
Emma was amazing.
No, we've actually met some really cool people here, but for what we were looking for, not the best. It was a little difficult. So, right, because a big thing that we've learned is we don't want to take one for the team. Neither of us.
Oh yeah,
do.
we won't. We both have done that in the past. I mean, you've done it, I've done it, and it's a horrible experience.
It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And trauma absolutely comes from that. On my end. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
know,
about your
the
end.
same. Like the thing, and this is, if I can give advice to anyone kind of entering into this, don't take one for the team. Be able to establish your own personal boundaries, and it's about your own personal boundaries. It's not about eliminating the experience of the other person, but you shouldn't have to be forced to compromise those in order to let the other person have an experience. And so, never take one for the team. I did it early on in my sexual exploration, re-exploration, I guess, and it was an absolute horrible experience. I might talk about it sometime.
I think we should.
Yeah, we
That'd
definitely
be a
should
really
take one for
good
the team. Good topic.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard here in Houston, and so we would have this rating scale of, and it sounds so bad because it's objectifying. But then
It
again,
is.
you jump on these apps, and it's 100% about objectifying, right? They have a line of text, and then it's all about pictures. And so we would have a scale of 1 to 10, and pretty much anything 5 and above is someone that we would
Be willing to have a sexual experience with.
have sex with. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. We should use big person words at some point. So someone that we'd be willing to have an experience with. So we get on these apps, and then we would connect with people back and forth. Oftentimes, like I would connect with them, but they would fail to read my profile. And so I got to the point to where I was incredibly bold and just upfront, because I'm all about transparency and honesty, and I just say exactly what we're looking for. But what?
You got blocked on Tinder.
Oh, yeah, I
for
totally
it.
got blocked on Tinder. I think I got reported a few times. People didn't appreciate the whole honesty, and I would have pictures of me and Kylie, and so I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. But I think just the idea of trying to have an alternative religious style is very off-putting to a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And even just sexual experience, because we're going to be in Houston not a long time, and so we're not going to be able to build a nice prolonged relationship, but certainly a friendship and have an experience. And so, yeah, so it's hard. It actually did not work
we
for a
spent
long time.
like a
Month and a half.
month and a half trying to find someone to have this experience with. But eventually he did connect with her on Tinder.
Yeah, and she was brave, incredibly brave. And so Emma had been reaching out to us and contacting us even when we were a little bit radio silent.
She, like, if it wasn't for her, I don't think it
I
would
don't
have
think
happened.
we would have happened. Yeah, I don't know if we were just too chicken shit, or had we kind of maybe self-sabotaged at that point, giving up the...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but she totally kept reaching out to us, kept connecting with us, and then finally we found a weekday to make it work. It was actually on a Monday, and she only had a few hours even, so it wasn't even like a weekend. And so we invited her over, and we decided to be upfront too, because we wanted to be able to have a nice positive experience without going through all the rigmarole of, okay, let's go to a bar, let's meet, let's see if there's chemistry, and if there is, maybe we'll schedule something down the road. We're in Houston a month, and so we wanted to be able to cut to the chase and just kind of go to what our ideal experience would be, which is, how would you describe our ideal dating experience at this point?
I mean, lazy?
Lazy. It's entirely lazy. It's
Efficient.
It's efficient.
There we go.
Yeah.
We just wanted to be able to, like, have a chill night.
Chill. Yeah.
Like, let's eat some food, have some wine, chillax, and, like, talk, have conversation, and then see if it goes anywhere. And if
Yeah.
not, like, at least we have a nice chill night where we're getting to know someone, we're having good conversation, or if they wanted to leave, they could just leave.
Yeah, we didn't want to have any pressure at all.
Yeah.
And I think we were taking it incredibly cautious, but at the same time, she decided to come, and so she showed up. How nervous were you before she showed up?
Like a scale 1 to 10, I was at like before, it varied. I would get like up to a 10 and I would start overthinking things and I would be really nervous. And then when it actually came to it and like we walked out to our cars, it was a 5.
Yeah, no, I was super nervous. Like I kept trying to find ways to make myself not nervous, and I couldn't do it. Um, and so yeah, we finally decided. So she parked in front of our complex. We went out and we were just full of nerves, but went down, met her, and it always feels awkward, and it felt a little bit awkward, but she came up and gave us a hug.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
She was just very open and warm and inviting. So, like, she really was the reason this worked out so well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we
100%.
can't like toot our own horns really. Like, this was Emma.
Yeah, definitely, 100% Emma. We got in the elevator, and then we wanted to kind of dive right into kind of the oddity of the situation, but all of a sudden, did someone go in the elevator with us? Or
Yeah,
we stopped.
because we were talking about desire.
We were talking about Desire, which is a clothing optional swingers resort in Cancun. Amazing, by the way.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you someday. And we were in the middle of the conversation, and someone hopped on the elevator, and we just immediately were just quiet.
Yeah, it got real awkward.
Got real awkward, didn't say anything. Finally popped out of the elevator, walked down the hallway, the long hallway, to get to our room.
And it was uncomfortable. Like, it's like, what do you talk about during this weird time? But we kept trying to go with the desire conversation and like,
Yeah, and then and we'd spent the day like cleaning the house too. Like we tried to make it spotless. It had a smell to it. We were trying to.
Really
It's an
did.
Airbnb. It's not ours.
it's not ours. It would not smell like that. That was mine.
But we tried to get it all. We had candles. We had like the sprit stuff, everything going on. We even saged it. I think we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Twice.
The bad spirits.
Yep.
And then yeah, we were just talking on the couch, and I had you two sit together actually.
Oh, you think you orchestrated that?
Oh, you did.
I sat down first, and then you went and sat on the other side.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was perfect though.
It was. It was great. So it was like, we didn't want to make her feel threatened in any way, right?
And I'm the big scary guy.
Right.
So, and I can come across, even though I don't, like I'm a teddy bear.
Yeah. But we were actually talking about this the other day. When I first saw him, not met him, but
You thought I was
saw
a
him,
douche.
I thought he was a douche.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a douche.
now that I know him,
Bigger douche.
no, he's not at all, actually. So we didn't want to, like, you don't want to surround her, right? Like me on one side, him on the other, and like attacking. So we gave her room on one side, and then I sat in the middle, and then Craig on the other side. But it was like an L couch, so we were able to all have a conversation, see each other, and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, how did it move from this talking conversation to Bam Shaka Malwan?
Well, luckily, she made the first move, and I think that was probably the best way for it to go, because I didn't know what she was comfortable with and whatnot. And so, like, she started rubbing my leg, so I realized, okay, there's interest, there's a feeling of safety. We could start moving
and
forward.
she was the first one to kind of, because we wanted to leave that up to her.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of our environment. She was the one that was kind of taking the risk coming into our space. And so seeing her make the first move was actually pretty, I have massive respect.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have done the same thing in her place at all. And then she made sure, the other thing that I noticed too, she made sure to start with Kylie, which made a lot of sense too, because in that situation you were the one that was probably the most vulnerable too.
Oh yeah, like thinking about Craig being with someone else and me being there and what's gonna happen and all of that stuff, like that's extremely I don't know the word for it, but it's hard. It's hard. I'm going through jealousies. I'm still trying to figure out how to do stuff, and so I was definitely in a spot of nervousness, of concern, of excitement, all sorts of different emotions. But it meant a lot to me that she was like looking at me and seeing like this could be a hard thing, and so she just like helped me through that. She kept asking, "Are you comfortable? Do you feel okay? What can we do to make you feel better right now?" Like,
Yeah, and she was incredibly cognizant and aware of both of us too. Like at one point, she stopped as we started clothing started coming off little by little. She sat us both down and next to each other. She wanted to make sure that we didn't lose each other in the experience either, that we were together. And it just massive props on my end, because it wasn't just about a physical experience. It was about connection and relationship and recognizing and honoring the relationship that me and Kylie already had. And so we sat down next to each other. Right, were we naked at this time?
Yeah, we were naked.
Yeah, so we got butt ass naked. Just stuff flinging around. It was just everywhere. We're sitting on the couch, and then she goes down on Kylie first. And it was hot, like, and she put me right next to her though, but she was going down on Kylie, and it was pretty incredible. There were a couple times I actually stepped back a little bit just so I can see them in their full glory, and it was easy for me. I had 100% compersion.
Right.
Yeah, it was like one of the most visually stimulating and just emotionally stimulating experiences that we've had on this one. And then she went down on me. How did you feel on that?
So this was kind of like the big moment, right? Like, how am I gonna feel when I see someone else
Kind of, my being.
doing stuff?
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. Realized that I have a kink.
Yeah, apparently she has a kink.
Apparently, and I don't know if it's the same for male and female. I was actually going to look this up and I forgot, but I think it's called cuckolding.
Yeah, cuckolding. Cuckold.
Yeah, like when you watch your partner with someone else, and it really turned me on. Like, I was really drawn in. I was excited to see that Craig was getting pleasure.
And she was excited. She was perky. Cutting glass with the.
Stop it. No. But there was something about being there with him and feeling that safety of our relationship, and knowing that at any moment I could be like, this is too much, and we could stop. And so, like, it calmed those nerves, and then I was just able to get into it and be like, I love that Craig is getting this pleasure right now. I love that he is experiencing something that I can't give him. Like, I can do similar things, but like, that's going to be a whole different experience with someone else. And so I loved the fact that he was getting this different perspective and experience.
Yeah, and similar for me too. So my biggest concern, I think Kai's biggest concern going into, was that we both felt safe, and so we kept checking in with each other, like, are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? And kind of the same thing for me, because when she went down on Kylie, recognizing that, we've talked about this before, but a woman knows a woman's anatomy probably better than a guy. That they're going to know what feels good. They can have the mirror neurons, the empathetic response. In other words, they're going to be able to give oral way better. That's kind of my theory. And so to be able to see, like, her go down on Kai, and to be able to see that she was deriving pleasure from it too, and it's totally different from an experience I would have given her, was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I did come pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about Kai too, so it just happens.
Yeah, that'll be a topic for another day.
We'll talk about it. And then the other thing we wanted to do is make sure that she didn't feel left out, that Emma didn't feel left out.
Yeah.
So I talked to Kai, pulled her aside, and says, like, well, let's take care of Emma. And then we put her down on the sofa thing, and then I think I went down on her first, and then Kai took care of the upper parts. And then after that, it went on for a little bit. It stopped, and then it was your turn.
Correct.
And you did. How was that for you?
So I've only been down on one other girl, and I was nervous. I was super nervous. Like, so this this is hard to talk about, even though we talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, it's not on camera now.
Yeah. So it's a new experience. Like, I know how I feel with my vagina, but I don't know.
She has an awesome vagina. I'm just saying, I want to do a T-shirt about Kai's vagina. Like, you're not as cool as Kai's vagina.
I like that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
So I just kind of went for it. Like, instead of being hesitant, like, I just kind of went in and, like, was trying to see how she was responding to certain things. And it was really cool because I didn't want to make it about myself. It wasn't like, am I doing this good? Am I doing this bad? Or I wanted to make it about her. I wanted her to feel good and to get pleasure. And, like, even if I wasn't going to make her come, like, I wanted to know that she was going to at least have this,
It got a little bit darker. That's okay. Battery ran out.
Battery ran out.
Yeah. It's more moody.
But I wanted to make sure that she had a pleasurable time. And I think that was achieved.
Yeah, she didn't complain, I don't think.
No, and there was good moans, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been fake. Let's be honest, they totally could have been fake. But we tried.
We did try.
Yeah. And then eventually it came to the condom part, and so we had that discussion, and I think I suggested that we asked you how you felt with it, because that was kind of the big crux. This is a big moment,
Yeah.
going from oral to penetrative sex.
Correct. And I was at a point where, like, I felt totally fine with everything. I felt safe because of her. I felt safe because of Craig. I felt safe because I knew I would take care of myself. Like, I would be able to say when I needed something to stop, if I needed it to stop. So, like, I knew that I was safe in all areas. And so, like, when it came time for that, I was excited. I was like, I cannot wait to see those two together and what that looks like. And it was hot.
Yeah, so we did. So we just suggested that we go into the
Oh,
bedroom.
we went into the bedroom.
Just because it's a little bit more room to spread out, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. And got into the bedroom. We got the condoms out, right? Oh no, didn't she have us have sex first? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, now I can't remember. I think so.
Yeah, I think she did. She actually suggested that me and Kylie have sex first.
Yeah.
And so we did. And then we put on the condom and had sex with her while you did stuff. And then at one point, like, I look up and, like, Kylie's just watching.
Just watching.
Yeah, and it was a little disconcerting because I can't tell what's going on in her face. I'm like, am I in trouble? am I fucking screwed? Non-literally, figuratively, literally. But I had no idea what she was thinking.
Which I had a huge smile on my face, so I don't know why. He didn't
Yeah,
know
but
what
it was like
thinking.
an evil smile, or like I'm gonna kill you smile. Like couldn't tell.
I was loving every second of it. She would grab me every once in a while and, like, have me kind of, like, touch or join in certain ways. But then I was like, I want to watch this. I want to see, because I know what it feels like to be where she's at, but, like, to see it from a different point of view, that really did a lot for me.
Well, for me, it was a really fun experience too, just because I felt safe on all fronts, and it was obviously just an experience adding a new dynamic into what relationship we already had.
Yeah.
And my biggest concern is, like, if you were safe, then I felt a little bit more free to maybe experience more and feel more. And eventually, you asked, like, we were kind of done a little bit, just sitting around, and then Kylie, like, asked, "Can I watch you two have sex again?" And so she got up to go get a drink of water, and I think I asked you, we're gonna get graphic, but something about how do you feel about.
Oh, you said, "Don't worry, I won't come in her."
Yeah.
And that, like, it meant a lot to me that he was thinking about me, and that could be something that could be really sensitive. Like, but because I was in such a good spot and I felt so safe, and him offering that, it was like, of course, like I had no worries. I was like, oh no, like you do you, whatever you want to do, whenever you want to come, like you just go and experience that. And it was just really cool to be able to not be in a position of holding someone back, because like I feel like we do that a lot to each other sometimes. But so for us to be able to be in a spot where like I didn't feel like I was holding him back and could see him derive this pleasure, like it was amazing. And so watching him come in her, like it was hot.
Well, for me, really kind of pushing the envelope of not self-sabotaging, which I do a lot.
Yeah.
And so not getting in this mind trap of I need to be able to not have the experience that I wanted to have because I'm a horrible person or whatever stories I tell myself.
Right.
And so I was able, just because everything felt safe, just lean into it. And so yeah, we did. Then we finished up. I think I went and hopped in the shower at that point.
Yes,
didn't
he did.
I was so
He
sweaty.
was
I was so sweaty.
He put in the work.
I worked at that. That was a day's work.
He did amazing. Like having to please two women, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of work. So I went and took a shower, and then at that point I was feeling just a little bit more goofy, and that's another thing that was really important for me, just to be myself. Because even though like Kai even told me I come across as a douchebag like out of the gate, like I'm really a dork. I'm a super big dork, and so like I was wanting to just play around and even just like mess around. Like now that you have 3 people, like what type of interesting puzzle configurations could you actually create out of that? Right? It gives more opportunities. But then she had to go, and
Yeah.
so she got all her stuff ready. We said goodbye, and that was it. That was our experience.
Yeah, we walked her down to the
Walked
car.
her down to the car, yeah.
Because Houston is sketchy as fuck.
Super sketchy.
But it was such a good experience. She was just so intuitive, and she kept saying how she was just honored to have this experience. And she was like, it's about you two and me joining into that. And so it was like...
It was amazing. Like she was absolutely incredible. I couldn't imagine any experience being better than that, or someone being more thoughtful than that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And the reason why I give us 9 out of 10 stars, right, is because I feel like I could have done a little bit of a better job in making sure that she felt okay. And like being a little more open, I guess. But I was so nervous, so I was like pretty...
We should start by giving ourselves a star rating at the beginning of these.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, but it was really good.
Yeah, and then we came upstairs and we kind of cuddled for a little bit, watched TV, and then I fucked the hell out of you.
Yeah, right? So then I'm like rethinking about all of this stuff, so I just keep getting more horny. I may have masturbated quite a few times to thoughts within the next day or two.
Wow, okay.
Thoughts of literally watching Craig fuck someone else, and I was turned on by that. Never thought that would happen, so... But it was good.
Yeah, and a lot of this too, just kind of, I guess we're getting kind of dark.
I know, we gotta sum up.
But to do this, I think a lot of it comes down to what we were talking about before, how we really beat the shit out of each other when we just jumped into polyamory, swinging, without us doing any of the foundational work. And this just goes to show that if we have that foundation of trust, of actually seeing one another and being aware of one another, then you can really do just about anything.
Absolutely.
If you have that foundation, because the real hurts don't come from someone having sex with another person. The real hurts come from not seeing that other person, or breaking trust, or doing something behind their back. And so it's starting from that foundation of honesty, from that foundation of seeing the other person, that foundation of trust, and then you're able to do just about whatever you want.
Yeah.
So
Success.
High five. Okay, until next time.
Okay, peace
Okay,
out.
Peace out.